I'm going to be frank with you. I haven't been able to sleep for a while now, 4 years to be exact. You see, I've been suffering from sleep paralysis since the 16th of August 2020, and every night since then, I've been afraid. Whenever I try to sleep, I see the same monster in the opposite corner of the room. A monster in the shape of a below-average 3D anime fighting game. Every night, the monster would whisper in my ear,
"There's still more to be done."
It confused me for some time because of how vague that statement was. Only now I have realised what it meant. I have to revisit Jump Force and finish the job. Jump Force is a game that I have previously reviewed in the past. In fact, it was the first ever review I've ever posted to this channel, so I never thought such a mediocre game would have such a special, if not scary, place in my heart, but whatever. My opinions on the game haven't really changed much in the last 4 years. It's a fine, if not painfully average 3D fighting game that had so much hype it was unbelievable, and I'd even go as far as to say it's a bit worse than when I last played it. Now, I'm not going to go over everything I talked about in that video again, because it'd be a bit redundant. Instead, I will ask this question. What has happened to the game since I uploaded that video? Well, 4 new characters have been added. Yeah, sometimes I forget that there was DLC for this game. You had to pay for every character that was added post-launch. Not a very good long-term investment with the benefit of hindsight. But whatever, that was all in the past. And now is now. But I must atone for my sins by reviewing these 4 characters, their abilities, and their awakening abilities. Starting with... Youichi is fast, acrobatic, an expert in hand-to-hand combat, and can shapeshift into a cat. What a fascinating character she is. As far as picking characters from Bleach is concerned, I do think it makes sense for the game to include her. Compared to the characters from Bleach in this game, she doesn't use a sword. Her standard attacks are kicks and swipes that resemble cat scratches. Shunken Thunder has her jump and punch really fast. Shunpo Pummel has her kick the opponent in the air and get hit 3 times. Shunko Raijin Senki has her harness the ability of lightning and shoot multiple lightning bolts on the arena. Her awaken ability is Shunko Raijin Senkai Shunru Kobuyabu Senki. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why does the name have to be so long? It has her turn into an electric cat person and zip around her opponent multiple times. It's also worth mentioning that she, along with the rest of the characters from Bleach in this game, have different costumes compared to what they had at the end of the original series. This confused me at the time because I wasn't aware of the 1000-year Blood War arc, which was the real ending to the series. By the time I made my first video on Jump Force, the 1000-year Blood War arc would not get an anime adaptation for another 2 years, which I have caught up on since, and seeing these costumes in the anime look cool and made me feel validation for watching that arc. It doesn't change the fact that Youichi needs to wear warmer clothes or else she'll catch a cold. I like how she plays here, but she's not exactly the best to control out of the 4. I remember first watching the Hunter x Hunter anime and seeing this guy. What a force of nature he is. Meruem was a guy birthed by giant mutant ants in order to create the ultimate life form. It makes a lot more sense with context. He even has a giant tail that has a needle at the end of it. Killing for him is easy stuff. He kills people because he beats them in a game of shogi. He really is one evil dude. This guy can literally kill someone with a whack of his tail while sitting. In the game, he uses his fists and mostly his tail. You also realise just how short this specimen is. King Strike has him... well, I have no idea. Even after slowing down the footage, it's still hard to tell what exactly he did. I tried sending this gameplay to the best scientists in the world, and they also struggled to figure it out. I can tell though that his opponent did not enjoy it. I am hungry. No, I'm not describing how I'm feeling right now. It's a move that has him jump on his opponent and bite something off, which gives him an attack boost. If he was up against Sanji, he'd probably bite his knob off because, let's be honest, Sanji deserves it. Meruem's N has him teleport in front of his opponent, and I guess the sheer girth of his head must have given them a punch to the stomach because they fall face first to the ground. His awaken ability is Nen Bullet. He sprouts his wings, knocks his opponent up in the air, zaps around, summons his demon hand and shoots orange stuff from it. Out of the 4 characters here, he is by far my favourite to control, the best of the 4 in my opinion. I don't really have a lot to say on Hiei. He has clairvoyance and all that stuff. I kind of find him a bit boring, to be honest. I don't dislike him or anything. It's just that there are far more interesting characters from Yu Yu Hakusho you could have chose from. I mean, he reminds me of Shadow the Hedgehog. They're both edgy dudes in black and act like they're better than everyone else. He has a sword which he can call on or off at his whim whenever you do a powerful hit. He does your standard punch and kick moves as well. Sword of the Darkness Flame has him summon the sword of the same name, appears from behind in a blink of an eye, and slashes his opponent. Purgatory Scorch has him punch his opponent really fast with fire fists. After Image has him ready to draw his sword, which can unleash a mighty slash at any given moment. His awaken ability is Dragon of the Darkness Flame. He punches his opponent in the air and summons the Dragon of the Darkness, which sends him flying. He's fun enough to control. I'd rank him in 2nd place behind Meruem. He definitely sticks out like a sore thumb when it comes to having a variety of moves, but Meruem is higher on the list purely for his coolness factor. Out of all the characters they could have added from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they had to choose the most boring one. Why? There are literally so many characters from the series they could have added, like Jonathan, Joseph, Josuke, Kira, Koichi, or if they waited long enough, Jolene. Out of all the parts in JoJo's, Part 5 is by far the worst one, and I dislike it with a passion. However, if you wanted to pick a character from Part 5, why not Butarashi? He's got more personality, a better backstory, and a more unique stand. But instead, we have to settle for Giorno.
It's fucking white bread.
He plays pretty much the same as Jojo and Dio, but with some minor variations. He calls upon his stand, Gold Experience, which allows him to punch really fast and sometimes kick. Muda! God, I sound like an Egypt shouting that. He punches really fast, just like Jojo and his father Dio. Speaking of which, I don't know why Giorno and Dio don't have unique interactions when facing each other before every fight. I think you could get a lot of mileage out of that pairing, but no. Instead, it's their generic lines.
君たちのために言うけど、無駄なことはやめた方がいい。
ほう、向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。
Send their attack right back, has them punch the ground and have a tree sprout out, which causes damage to his opponent. Ability to produce life has him replenish a portion of his own health. His awaken ability is You shall never reach your destination, which is just the same as the regular Muda, just punches really fast again, except it's more cinematic. He is by far the worst of the 4 here. He barely has anything unique to him, and he most definitely feels like an Echo fighter, the worst kind of fighter, purely because of how lazy it is. As far as final DLC fighters are concerned, he is the worst possible one you could choose. Jump Force was delisted from digital stores in February 2022, and online ranked matches were discontinued later that August. The only way to play the game now is if you purchased it before it was removed, or by buying a physical copy for about... You know, I was expecting the price to be higher. The thing is, many fans of Shonen were disappointed in how the game turned out because of how unpolished it is.
How long is this going to take?
There was so much potential with this game. Seeing Goku, Naruto and Luffy team up and fight Frieza, Madara and Blackbeard are scenarios most fans would dream of. It could have been one of, if not the best anime games of all time. But instead it felt rushed and unsure of itself, trying to look realistic instead of looking colourful and full of life like the source materials they're taking from. It just makes everything look so jarring and awkward. Lifeless even. Just look at the lobby when you first enter the game, literally full of generic looking knobs controlled by the AI. Wait, my OC looks generic. Well, shit. Look at pretty much every character's faces. They are so comatose.
This can't be real.
I need to sit down.
This can't.
I might actually puke. Get back a little. I'm gonna puke. Stay back.
Oh my
I'm gonna throw up.
You know when the characters and everything everywhere all at once go to a universe where they're rocks? Well, those rocks, I kid you not, show more emotion than these supposedly larger than life characters. When you actually get over the excitement of seeing your favourite anime characters fight each other, you begin to realise that this game really is a by-the-numbers 3D fighting game. In the end, Jump Force is just whatever. Frieza is still an arsehole. Well, surely now the sleep paralysis demon is gone, right? Good. He's gone. Gone forever. On an unrelated note, did you know that snails can sleep for 3 years straight?